if you guys, I know Yogi will appreciate this picture up here, just because he's a cat guy. The 48-hour live stream will continue here in a few minutes, guys. We're going to give you some music, but we are debuting a brand new show today. I'm not even going to tell you yet. We're going to start the music here in a second, and then we're actually going to get right into it. You guys, all you know is me, okay? So I'm not going to, I will basically, we'll start it up, and we'll introduce the one person that really people kind of know who it is. And but nobody really knows who it is. People in TeamSpeak, I'm sure they know who it is because they can see them, but it's okay. So they're not going to say anything, but we're going to get this started right here, right now. Yeah, we're going back to Aladdin. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. So guys, again, thanks for hanging out with with everybody during this big the annual 48-hour Geeky Antics 48-hour live stream. And we do this just because we love you guys. We really do. So once a year is not hurting nothing. And for those that are expecting to see me all painted up, yeah, sorry, didn't happen. All right, guys, we're gonna start right now. We'll see you guys in a few seconds. Enjoy. Booyah.
Word.
And welcome, guys. Brand new show out here. And, of course, we're on the 48-hour live stream. My name is Obi1X2, and I'm not necessarily the host. I'm a partaker in the shenanigans, I guess you could say. But with me today, this is something that we've been talking about for a while. You guys see on the stream right now. But this is the pilot episode, brand new show that we got going on here, and it's called NSFW, Not Safe for Wrestling. Yes, I told you guys. You guys heard me before. We're going to start, hey, what are you guys going to talk about that or talk about wrestling? Do whatever, do this, do that. We're doing it, guys. So welcome to the brand new, the pilot episode of Not Safe for Wrestling or NSFW. So you guys can tweet that out if you guys want to. Hashtag NSFW. We'll get it going. If you guys want to have different divas or wrestlers of your choice that you guys really like, let us know. We'll put them right here on the little slideshow that we have going. But first, foremost, I want to welcome the man that kind of thought of this. Hopefully he unmutes his mic here in a second. But the man that actually thought of this up and actually got going and said, "Hey, dude, let's do it. Obi, you want to go?" The man himself, none other than Fatal Blades. What's up, buddy?
How's it going, everybody? Super sneaky.
I kicked everybody out of the channel, too, right before we started. I'm like, oh, see ya.
Time to go. Here comes the wrestling talk. So happy getting to kind of premiere this in the 48-hour space of the amazing marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty hype.
It is. I'm excited, dude. I've been talking like I wanted to do something like this for the last like 2 or 3 weeks. Just start it and just see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many times, even across other wonderful podcasts on the Geeky Antics Network, somehow I always wind up going into a minor rant on wrestling. So why not dedicate a solid block, a little time space to it? Get the people
definitely.
all the information, and let the people, chime in if they have anything they want to share with us.
Definitely. And two, this is for everybody that because this is gonna be put on geekyantics.net. It's an exclusive on Geeky on the gang, and I know we have a few people that might catch an episode or two every now and then that is in the wrestling industry. And so be looking forward to, guys. We're on the phones, we're on the emails right now, and actually trying to get some guests, some actual guests that you guys will actually recognize. Which right then and there is like, ooh, who are we gonna get? We're not gonna tell you. So, but Fatal, I got a question for you. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit of basically, like, you like to rant about wrestling and sometimes, but what really motivated you to actually want to say, hey, let's do a podcast about WWE besides the ranting thing?
A little bit of it was the ranting thing. Another part is not safe for wrestling right off of the top. I feel that with the PG that the WWE is going, I miss the good old days. I miss the let's show blood, let's go for crazy finishers, let's let Austin flip the bird every 3 seconds. Let's really fucking talk about wrestling. And I feel like right now, everybody who talks, they're kind of very censored. And I'm an old school ECW guy. Behind the scenes was very upfront through Heyman. Everything was
gore.
Yeah. But like when they released Sabu back in the day, Heyman came out and he said, you guys are loyal, diehard, you know what's going on. I'm not going to lie to you. Sabu missed X amount of dates, went to New Japan, he left the company. I'm not going to treat you like you're dumb. Let's give you the real deal. And that's what kind of motivated me to want to do this. I feel like, yes, there are times where, the WWE is not quite as transparent as one would hope. But as for the informed fan, I want to keep us informed and discuss some of the finer things, like where could they be going with angles? What angles would we like to see? What's our real feedback on the Divas Revolution? And so it's kind of a show made by fans for fans to just get together, communicate, and chime about how they feel the direction of wrestling is heading.
Right. And before we get too deep in the show, we want to make sure that, guys, if you guys haven't tried 2K16 or 2K15, it's great. 2K16 is supposed to be better. Is it out yet?
2K16 is out. It came
okay.
out the 27th, same time as Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, just a few days ago, it's just brand new. If you guys haven't tried it, it is awesome. I played it at my buddy's house, and it was just like, he's like, who do you want to be? And I looked through all there's legends upon legends. I mean, yeah. Oh, it's just great. So if you guys haven't tried it, go pick it up. I believe it's, of course, $59.99, just like every other game that comes out. But you get to see all that stuff. I mean, and he showed me a ring entrance with Marvelous Mark that Sable was with him, and actually Sable was actually in the potato bag on this entrance, and then she took it off in the game. She took it off during the entrance and just flip Mark out. It was kind of like they actually used some of the real stories and real stuff actually in the game. Once you trigger everything to do, maybe to start the match, there'll be one little cinematic that you're gonna watch, and you're gonna see Fable ripping her thing off, like, or Sable. Sorry, that was one that I missed too in the Attitude Era was Sable, because I'm sorry, Marvelous Mark couldn't control her, dude. No. But and then, of course, it was WWE, and they were their storytelling was a little bit lackluster back then, I think.
I wouldn't say lackluster. I think because it was the Attitude Era, it was a little more blunt. It was kind of built more towards the older audience at the time. Instead of seeing the John Cena 5 moves of doom, We had guys like Austin, and we had guys like The Rock who could cut a promo probably like no one else's business.
Yeah, that's like he's like Bray Wyatt. I mean, it's one
Yeah,
of our topics today. The title, of course,
right.
being Bray, Crouching Wyatt, Hidden Viper. I'm sure you guys can probably know what we're going to talk about today anyway.
Right. Yeah, I mean, actually, that's perfect segue. Let's go into it. Let's go right at it.
Hit it.
Main reason for Crouching Wyatt, Hidden Viper. If anyone had seen or was watching just before the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that just recently hit, there was a long-standing talk about Randy Orton being unable to make a couple of appearances, and they spun it into the Wyatts must have got to him. And unfortunately, it kind of feels as though that cut the rivalry short, maybe. I feel like there might have been a buildup for Survivor Series with that.
I really did feel that way as well. Because the Wyatt, if you guys don't know, Wyatt's, for the people that are here live, of course, thank you for being here. And Cupcake, I'm going to get to your thing in a second, what you said in chat. But with Wyatt's, he's picking on everybody, He doesn't discriminate people. Like, first, one of the first people was Daniel Bryan. Why? You have a beard already. You can just join our club. Okay, that's what I thought about it, okay? Join our family because you already have the look. You're already a goat face. So, we have a sheep. We have a white sheep, now a black sheep now. What happens if Daniel Bryan joined? What happens if the Wyatts get back their whole family? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. We're not even going to mention one person because he's not technically a part of it. But
I will,
Wyatt's,
Bo Dallas.
Wyatt's brother. I mean,
Yeah.
Bo Dallas. I mean, nobody... How many people actually knew that Bo Dallas was Bray Wyatt's brother? Not many.
Yeah, not many, but it's worth mentioning. I think he'd be a great addition, and I liked him in previous iterations of the Wyatt family.
Well, I could see right now, like, Bo Dallas going off and say, you know what, fuck positivity. I'm not doing this shit. I'm gonna go and reign with the Lord, with the God of Fear, which self-proclaimed is Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it could work. Have Bray Wyatt have a little stubble on his face like he had before. Not Bray, but Bo Dallas. Because back in the beginning, and you're the one that told me about this, back in the beginning when the whole family came into the business, they were all together as like the Shield or as like DX or they were all together.
Yeah, they were a full faction.
And then of course Bo went and he shaved all up and got the power of positivity, and all you got to do is Bo leaves.
Gotta Bo leave.
It's just I really want him to go back is what I'm saying. I just think he's gonna say screw Bo leaving. I'm going to family.
I mean, really, the thing is, you can almost cut it yourself. Like, just look at it and go, how long has he been doing this Bo leave shtick? Easily year and a half, almost two.
And people are not paying attention to. They don't care.
All he has to do is step out, start his little Bo leave thing, and then drop his serious face. You've seen it every now and again when he gets that angry. Someone talks smack about Bo leaving, and his face just deadpans. His face deadpans. Give him a microphone and let him cut a Wyatt style promo. Let him go. I tried to save you all. I tried to use positivity. Clearly, no one responds to positivity anymore.
Nobody wants to believe anymore.
Right. No one wants to believe. No one believes in positivity.
And then what would be good?
So now I will make you believe.
And then what would be good is right when he says that, Bray Wyatt and the two sheep come out. Come on, dude.
I mean, it like I said, it can write itself. But with Orton, like I was saying, back to original point. See, these are the tangents. They happen. It felt like it was a really good Survivor Series push. And then they still tried to keep it together because the status of Orton was kind of unknown. Since we found out he actually injured his shoulder in what can really only be called a freak accident. He did some damage to his shoulder taking out trash.
Yes.
At his house. And so he's injured his shoulder. He has to undergo an MRI. Whether it's an old agitated injury or if it's something more serious, we don't know, but that changes the face of Survivor Series. So it looks like they've gone back to the WrestleMania well, with the taking of Undertaker and Kane at the most recent Raw.
Speaking of that, let's stop for a second. No, actually, go ahead, keep going. I want to talk about the Wyatt family with Undertaker too, because
we're definitely getting there. Because I mean, they took Taker, and we know that Wyatt and Taker had their big WrestleMania fight, and then now they've got Kane, and it feels like maybe a Brothers of Destruction reuniting at Survivor Series.
I could see that, but really, how many more pay-per-views does Undertaker have left? I mean, this guy, Mark personally, okay? You know him personally. You know who he is. You're friends with the guy. How many more does he really have left?
This marks his 25th year, and the thing is, The Undertaker will always go out of his way for the fans. He does nothing but put on an amazing show. There used to be an old saying about Sabu, I think also applies heavily to The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Most guys in that ring have to sell that a move hurts. They have to sell that they're in pain. Guys like Sabu and The Undertaker, they have to fake that they feel okay because they are consistently in pain. The aches, the pains, all the joint. I mean, he's been in the business 25 years.
And some of the legendary matches he's had the last 25 years. I mean, think about it. WrestleMania was 4 years ago. Shawn Michaels. I mean, no, that was 5 years ago, wasn't it? 1, 2. So he did Brock. He did Brock
Shawn
twice.
2 years in a row. He had Shawn 2 years in a row. He had Triple H 2 years in a row. And the second match with Triple H was no holds barred, no disqualification. I mean, lots of prop bumps, chair shots and whatnot. I mean, those take a toll.
Right.
And Survivor Series marks the 25th anniversary. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. I know there's always a joke that he'll wrestle till he's like Ric Flair, he'll have the long white hair, but
I just don't think so, dude. He with the matches that he has, casket matches, burn you in hell matches, the multiple, and this is something too, guys. He's the only one that's been in the cage the most, the Hell in a Cell matches.
Yeah.
I mean, those matches alone, I mean, they just take a toll out of you. That's why over the last, I want to say 5 or 6 years now, that's why Undertaker has not been around like he has been lately on Raw and SmackDown and all that other stuff. Because it's partial contract obligations and stuff, and he only has 1 a year or 2 a year or whatever he has. But it's just, like I said before, he doesn't have a lot of time left.
I think part of him being back as much as he has been in the last few months and what it feels like leading up to this big 25th anniversary, we might be looking at the last year that The Undertaker's in. We might be looking at possibly, everyone's always speculated that WrestleMania retirement. And that'll change the impact of wrestling altogether. I mean, how is it going to feel? We've gotten so accustomed to that there's a guaranteed big match. The Undertaker fighting it out. And I mean, granted, he doesn't have the streak anymore, but still, it's a big thing. See, everyone wants to see it at Mania.
Yeah, and with that streak, that's one of the reasons why that was just part of Brock's push. And Brock, they didn't need to really push Brock all that much because Brock is the pay to see, the main event. He is the real deal.
I agree, but at the same time, I think that was kind of a nod from Taker as well. When you look at the end, the way it ended at Hell in a Cell before
Yeah,
before
he
the
actually nodded like, "Dude, good job. You whooped my
yeah
ass."
before the gimmick kind of went down with the Wyatt family. He looked at him and he was like, that was a good match. That was the match we should have had. That's the match everyone deserved. You got me. It was good. And I think that was solid,
Hmm.
the way they did that, because it's an old wrestling tradition that when the older guy's kind of heading out, he pushes one of the newer guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Taker did it with Brock, and I feel like he's possibly doing it with Wyatt. Like, he's helping to push that new face of fear. If you notice, the Wyatt abductions are very much like the Ministry of Darkness abductions that the
Exactly.
Undertaker himself did.
With the brood and everything.
Yeah, like
Yep.
walking them out in the very like arms out kind of crucified style. I feel like they did that as well, and they're just like, let's carry them out specifically like this to bring it full circle and kind of push Wyatt a little more this way.
Dude, we need to get Wyatt on here, Bray on here, and just have him. Hey, dude, cut your best promo on this podcast right here, right
Dude,
now.
that guy
Tell
can
me
cut.
who is the face of fear, dude. Come on, Bray.
Like,
And if you ever listen to this, Bray, I'm gonna tell you right now, you are cordially invited right this instant to come, and I want to hear. I want you to tell me who the face of fear is. I know it's you, but I want you to tell me who it is.
I want one of those solid, face of fear, eater of worlds, follow the buzzards, run style promos. Like, that's so amazing. He cuts probably one of the most solid promos. I would say previous to him would have been top five is easily Wyatt promos, CM Punk pipe bomb promo,
The Rock.
uh, The Rock. The Rock's got so many, but I'd say the "This Is Your Life" promo where he's like, The Rock just wanted to make Aunt Jemima pancakes.
The one thirst and the one person that's overlooked a lot too, because people are such on the fence about him, because you either hate him or love him, is John Cena.
See, Cena cuts an okay promo, but when you look at guys Jericho, Rock, Wyatt, Punk,
Well, no, he's not on that god tier of promos, but
yeah,
he's up there in the high tier of when he cuts a promo, you either hate this dude or you love him. I mean,
and
really,
I'll put it out right now. As far as the character for Cena goes,
terrible,
I'm not a fan. I'm not.
terrible.
However, as far as his actual in-ring, out-of-ring dedication to the company,
Hmm.
businessman push day in, day out, I can honestly say I respect him for a lot of the things he does there. And I mean, I'm by no means I'm that guy in the stands,
It
chanting Cena sucks.
Yeah,
I can't help it.
and I find myself. This is the funny part. I find myself actually chanting both. Like if I'm watching it on the network or something, I'll go, go John Cena, and then I'll say Cena sucks. John,
Yeah.
and then I'll just keep saying it. I'm just here, and I had to reload. Yeah, she's still here, but she thinks wrestling is nonsense. Okay. Anyway, I want to get to what chat said. Okay, Cupcake Envy comes up and says wrestling is silly, and then Yogi comes back and says, "Well, of course it is. It's soap opera for men." Yes, to some people, wrestling is silly. Okay, and that's the actual game that everybody sees on TV. That's not what we're going to be talking about most of the time. Most of the time, we're going to be talking about, hey, what's happening that you don't see?
Yeah.
Just because Fatal Blades, of course, he's got somewhat of an inside track on some things. I mean, hell, he's friends with the Undertaker. What the fuck? But you got things that we're gonna get deeper into. The business side of wrestling. So if you think it's nonsense or silly, kind of pay attention for a couple of shows, and you might learn something that might say, hey, this is actually, yes, it's ridiculous and retarded sometimes, but it's actually not that bad. Yeah.
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 Easily one of my favorite quotes, Mick Foley, known for being quoted as saying, granted, wrestling is predetermined and UFC is real as the people see it. But in UFC, when you get knocked out, your match ends. In mine, I was unconscious for 15 minutes and finished my match 20 minutes later. You know, it's one of those, you got to have respect for them. They probably do more than most professional athletes. Like
Oh yeah.
the the NFL was like, concussions is a major thing. We can't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, concussions are just another hazard of the job for most professional wrestlers. Look, when Brock had his WrestleMania moment, he talked about on the podcast, he did that shooting star press and just
And he landed on his head.
smashed head first into that ring. He was concussed, but you know what? He got up, he finished the match. It was impressive. You had to respect it, you know.
I ran that back a couple times too. That when I because they watched it, on the network.
Yeah.
And you guys can only get the, and this is not endorsed. We're not sponsored by WWE, but you guys can get the WWE network for only $9.99 a month. It's really worth it, guys.
Just $9.99.
Exactly. You can only get it. It's only on. Hell, you can watch the next pay-per-view. Be on TeamSpeak with us for only
Nothing. The TeamSpeak's pretty much open.
Anyway, but you guys could check that out. But it's something that when I was watching it, and I actually rewound the actual show several times just to watch it again. And dude landed on the back side, the flat side or the little bump side on the back of your head before it goes down into your neck. He landed on that, the hardest part of the back of your head that hooks to your spine.
Yeah.
And you could see that when he actually hit, he actually reached around and then, right away grabbed his neck like, holy, they actually put a camera in his face for a split second. He's just like, holy shit, that hurt. Like, and he literally said it. I mean, like, God.
Had he fallen wrong 2 inches either direction, there's a good chance he could have ended his career right there. Very possibly paralyzed or broken neck like what Austin suffered. It was a very dangerous thing. Now, granted, that's another thing. He did it for the fans. He did it because that was his WrestleMania moment. I wouldn't necessarily say for the fans. I think it was more for the moment. But, all wrestlers at some point are doing it for the fans, for that response.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're a big meat shield motherfucker. Why the hell are you getting up on the top rope? Yes, he's agile. Don't get me wrong. But really, Fatal, give me one sentence why he can justify. Why would you get on the top rope? Just for a reaction?
Bam Bam Bigelow used to do a moonsault.
You could have.
There it is.
That doesn't matter. That
That's
doesn't matter.
one
You could have pulled out. You could have pulled out a big power move, a new one that nobody's ever seen before from you. You could have pulled out, just something that just is devastating and really work it up, because they know how to act. That's what they are. They're professional actors. That's what happens. But don't get on the top rope.
Like I said, he just wanted to have that big thing, so he did it, and I can't fault him for it.
Right.
One of the big things I want to touch on, I know we're only set for, this is a shorter show than what the future's going to be looking like.
We can go as long as you want to, man.
I was going to say, I got a couple things I want to cover, kind of just in the high points. Natalia's return.
It is.
She's back. Natty has returned.
Oh my God, dude. She is looking dark.
Right?
Like, did you see, the last time she came out, she was in all black and then lined on the the outline was pink.
Mm-hmm.
Was pink. And then she had black hair and, she had streaks and, dude, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with her.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It looks like they're setting up really well for this one.
Yeah. I can't. And you know what? She's probably going to be going after the title. And I'm looking for her to get a title shot here soon. Just because.
Yeah, if they push her with more of a heel image on this push, then it's definitely likely she'll see a title shot sooner than later. I think they've kind of tapped the 3 teams down, and we definitely need something new. And she could be that next step into the Divas Revolution that will help push it farther.
And we'll get back on Italian in a second, but you just said it kind of almost, and it's almost a perfect segue for it. And I was thinking, like you said, because there's so many divas coming in, whether it's and we know about NXT too, guys. We don't miss that, but with the divas coming in, like I mean, the Divas Revolution coming around. How soon do you think we're gonna see a divas tag team?
Well, the Bellas are kind of pushing to see it, and
Becky Lynch and and Charlotte are too.
I could see them as tag, but not while she still has the Divas title. And as we saw
Well, that's
recently,
why Natalia's getting a push.
PCB is basically broken up. Paige, of course, went back to her kind of. I don't. I kind of want to say heel ways. I kind of want to say anti-hero ways. She's very much like Corbin.
No,
She's that lone wolf.
She's going back to her jealousy ways.
Yeah,
Because remember when damn it, who had the belt when she first got
AJ,
it was
the
AJ when she
frenemies.
when she came
push.
in and then AJ won it and she was so jealous of her, and then now her friend, because she was supposed to have the fastest time, it was the plan for her, I guess. And then when Charlotte pinned her opponent with a minute and in a minute and whatever, and then she couldn't beat it, like she was pissed off. She was like, "What the fuck?" You know what? And maybe that, and of course, that's just probably her character. But still, I mean, she's selling it really, really good. And I can't really say nothing bad about what she's doing because you know what's going to happen because you've seen it that night when Charlotte won the title chance.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it that night. The look on Paige's face was like, "Bitch," but I'm gonna hug you anyway and give you a fake smile.
Yeah.
But anyway, what else do you think is going to come from Natalya, though?
There's so much. Like her being back and this new persona they're giving her. I feel like they're finally going to push her into the light like she really deserves. I mean, you got to think it's a legacy thing,
Right.
and I think it'd be interesting to see, a next generation Hart versus a next generation Flair.
Right. And that's probably how they're going to cut the promo with it, too.
Exactly.
Hart versus Flair in an epic championship battle.
In this Divas Revolution, why not bring it? Orton got such a push from being a third generation superstar. There's so many superstars that get these push from being X generation, but the Divas have always kind of been overlooked for that.
Mm-hmm.
They've always overlooked this person, like Luna Vachon was a next generation, daughter of Butcher Vachon.
Right.
But they never said, second generation as a diva. They just said, well, that's Luna. That's Luna Vachon. And now, though, that everyone, like divas, are getting a little more spotlight, I think it's important. They're blatantly letting you know that Charlotte is related to Ric Flair.
Right.
And it's always been known that Natalya is a Hart. She's daughter of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, correct?
Yes, British Bulldog and is her cousin, and no, yes, British Bulldog's her cousin, and then Owen and Crybaby is her uncle.
Right.
Sorry, I couldn't think of his name, dude. Crybaby. Wow. I'm sorry. I know, but the way he went out, we're not even gonna get on that right now. We can have a whole segment compared to that.
That could be a whole show.
But that just the way he went out was just, come on, man, that's just bad. But I mean, it's just because some people do things and it's real. I mean, they say, "Fuck you, Vince. We're not gonna work for you no more," and they leave. Some people actually just not part of the game. It might be Vince could write it up like that. I could see him doing that. Well, hey, what I want you to do is come in here next week, cuss me out, and then quit. And then we'll for numbers, I could see it happening.
Now, there is one thing I kind of want to put out there for everyone. It's a side note, but I want to with this podcast kind of going to be a regular thing. I'm going to be trying to get my hands on the 2K16, but I do have 2K15. I almost want to make a fan-based, universe. You know how they have the WWE My Universe mode?
And we could do a highlight reel from fans, and we could actually play it during the stream.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to do I want fan inspired storylines for for this universe. Who have they always wanted to see kind of duke it out with each other, or what heel or face turns. And I want to see just how creative, not us, but as well as our listeners can get to really push this into a next level thing. Like, I want it to be a entirely interactive experience. I want to make sure it's got that gaming content, because Twitch all about that gaming content. We got you, Twitch. And I wanna add that in. I think it'd be a nice thing. Plus, fan Royal Rumbles, perhaps. Yeah. I think that could be an amazing thing. We assign some fans to some Royal Rumble participants and have some fun with it.
We could, and then we could do a special event or a special cast and live stuff to where we could do it on streaming and have everybody. And dude, I'm game.
Perhaps some special ring announcing by myself and my wonderful co-host, the Bearded Menace, as long as we all still save the beard. The Bearded Menace.
We got 3 hours, guys. Come on.
We're still pushing for it, guys. We're still pushing.
Yep. But no, I'm looking at it right now, and WWE 2K16 on MMOGA is $36.76.
But see, I don't think it's got a PC release yet.
Yeah, I know.
So I could run it on the Xbox.
Yeah, I don't want to get, I would get one, but I think I'm just going to wait and pay the full price for 16. Because if I just go off and because 15 right now is, what, $50 still? Yeah.
I don't even know. Yeah, I was going to say, I got mine on, ridiculous sale.
Let's plan that for 2K16.
Okay.
And do it, and we'll do the fan Royal Rumbles and the members, or however you want to do it. I mean, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think we could have some fun with that. So let's see. Next topic of discussion: Tyler Breeze, aka
You think I'm hot?
The new Adam Rose,
aka was trying to be the new Bret Hart. Not Bret Hart, but Shawn Michaels.
A little bit,
because he's got a super kick. Okay, he's got the same. The whole. You think I'm hot. You think I'm sexy.
Right.
He has all that persona, everything that Shawn Michaels did back in the day. Come on, and it failed. Like, nobody took onto it because he acted like a little bitch. No offense, not saying you're a bitch, but still, you acted like it.
Yeah, and it's. I don't think they push the small guys. It feels like they're like, hey, look, we're giving small guys a chance. We're putting them in here, and then they're never heard from again.
Yeah, I think, and two, yeah, that might be the whole thing. But I really think that when they do give somebody a push, and I'm gonna say this about him, I know he's a good wrestler. He's good at what so far in the script, I guess, but it's something to the point where they might have given him a small window, even a small window, to a chance to do something, and he couldn't give it up, give up the goods. He couldn't do that. I mean, that's kind of, really, they give everybody a chance to show them what they got.
Yeah.
I mean, even if, because really, even if a wrestler loses a match, it's not about that, because that's already predetermined on who they're giving pushes to and who's not, who's heel, who's face, who's, to me, it comes down to where if you give a really good match, you get clean moves, you're not only taking care of yourself, but you're also taking care of your partner in the ring. Because yes, guys, it's not I hate you. Yeah, sometimes they really do hate each other. Brock Lesnar,
but they have to work through.
Brock Lesnar and Undertaker, they really fucking hate each other.
Yeah, there's a real war
The
there.
but there's things where hey, we are. Brock Lesnar said it on Stone Cold's podcast. This is entertainment. This is a business to me. If I got to be nice to this guy in the ring to wrestle him, hey, this is what we'll do. But all my moves are going to come with social force because I'm pissed off at this guy. Of course, still you're going to have a great match. So isn't that what WWE's looking for? Anywhere from down to the developmental, to the indies, to Japan, to NXT. They're looking for, does he have that big star match quality? And I believe they gave him a chance, and he just didn't take it. My opinion.
Yeah, I, I think that there's a bad start for any wrestler, and it unfortunately it happened to Tyler Breeze. The mark of death of a superstar to me is if they, instead of debuting you on Raw like Kevin Owens got, if they debut you on SmackDown, I feel like your push is going to get cut short. I mean, they debuted Adam Rose on SmackDown. He had a run for a few months, and then they pulled him and dropped him back down to developmental. He's back in NXT.
And I really thought the party bus was going on, too.
But they couldn't lock a story down for him. They're like, oh, well, let's have him start this rivalry. Well, no, you know what? Let's have him fight the bunny. Let's try and give him this heel turn. And it just, the heel turn carried him, but it carried him back into NXT.
Yeah, it is not carrying him, dude. He's failing in NXT with being a heel.
A bunny, really? Like,
but no, I'm saying though, like, well, have you watched NXT in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah,
they are kicking his ass. Like he is getting. Yes, he turned heel. Yes, that would be awesome, and he did it, and he did it in a way that it carried, like you said, it carried for a couple weeks. But lately, dude, he has just been flopping. He's flopping worse than the bunny, dude.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I think that opening in SmackDown is kind of that kiss of death. It's unfortunate, but true.
I don't know. We'll see this is what I'm saying right now is WWE, even though it is a SmackDown chance, we'll see what he's got. I mean, will the fans react to him? Because really it's professionalism in how you do your job. And this isn't any job. If you have a really good match, okay, but just having a really good match is not enough. The fans have to like you too, because ultimately, who pays their bills?
Right.
We do. Not just because... Go ahead.
I think it's also going to come down to who the company pairs him with. Because I imagine Tyler Breeze could put on a phenomenal match. Like, well, I know it. I've seen it in NXT. If you give him a fast, high-flying, technical guy, you will see Tyler Breeze put on a clinic. He will put on an amazing, fast-paced, back and forth match.
The man that gravity forgot.
I would love to see.
They had a crazy match.
I would love to see him fight Neville or
Finn Balor.
Stardust. I saw him fight Finn Balor.
That was great.
But I'd like to see him fight like a Stardust, fight a Kofi Kingston or something like. But it seems like right now all the fast high flyers that people. Maybe, I mean, you could put him against either of the Lucha Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is no one really cares about the Lucha Dragons right now.
No, they're kind of failing right now too.
They've been faded out into the background. They're not, like, the tag team scene is all about New Day and Dudley's at the moment. Like, I feel like we don't have any real sub stories. Where's Darren Young and Titus O'Neil? Where's our primetime players? That was such a big thing, and then they just kind of dropped it in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Where's all we have are the Dudleys and the New Day right now.
I can tell you right now, as we're talking, I'm thinking of more ideas for more shows. So I'm like,
right,
dude, what about? Oh, well, let's save that for another show.
But like, there's so many options that they could do, and it's almost painful to watch kind of what they're doing at the moment. So many things. That's why I think honestly the fans can do better, and I want us to do our universe and prove it. I think we can do better. We know who we would team where. We know what we'd have again, you know, how to set our matches. We got this.
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. With the next pay-per-view, do you have any predictions for the next pay-per-view coming up?
I'm actually pulling that roster up right now, or that card up right now. So
Well, I
give me
know
a second.
there's Roman Reigns looks like he's about to have a title shot with Seth Rollins. He won his way into the Fatal 4-Way and then took the Fatal 4-Way. So former Shield brothers, and perhaps the rematch we've been waiting for since WrestleMania when Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, just let me give it real quick. Go. What about you? Let me know. What do you think?
I think they're going to put on a great match.
For wait, what is this
Uh,
for again?
for Survivor
Oh,
Series.
duh. I had it half. I'm like, what is
I'm
SUR?
hoping that they're going to do a Team Wyatt versus Team Taker. And I think one thing that would be amazing, although I don't know if they'll pull the trigger on it, I would love to see Team Taker consist of the Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker, Kane. Let's see, Dean Ambrose. Roman's in the title shot, so he won't be on the team. If Orton gets cleared, it'd be cool to see him back. If not, I think it'd be great to see what I call the double surprise. And that would be that Team Taker picks up Brock Lesnar out of, you know, that mutual earned respect at the end of Hell in a Cell. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's Brock Lesnar. But who is The Undertaker going to have as his fifth? And perhaps a returning Daniel Bryan could make an appearance because you know his history with the Wyatt family. That would give them huge swell going into Survivor Series, you know. Undertaker's 25th anniversary, return of Daniel Bryan, teaming with Brock Lesnar, who he was just feuding with 1 month previous. It could be huge. There's so much potential.
Here
there.
is from Daily DDT 2015, published 5 days ago. So today's Saturday, 10/31/2015. So on the 26th, this was published. 4-on-4 elimination match: The Undertaker, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and to be determined versus Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman.
But see, Roman Reigns is in the title run now, so there's no way they can pull that match. Unless Roman's going to do double duty.
I wouldn't think he would do double duty like that.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't expect them to use him to carry 2 huge matches that are probably going to be anywhere from 30 to 50-minute long matches. I mean, that's almost back-to-back Iron Man matches. That's brutal. I mean, don't get me wrong, Roman Reigns is a monster, and he's trained extremely hard. But that's just too much to ask of one guy to carry the show like that. You know, I think we're going to see, of course, John Cena probably go for his rematch on Del Rio. We're going to see John Cena try to take that U.S. title back. I can't believe, by the way, let's talk about that.
I was just going to say, let's talk about, what do you think about Alberto Del Rio coming back? And on top of coming back, the man that actually introduced him and actually shook his fucking hand is Zeb Coulter. What the fuck?
I'm fine with Zeb Coulter. I mean, he's a great manager. I think he does well.
It's not that. It's not that, dude. It's not the point that you're fine with him. It's the point that the man that he basically drove out of the business, okay, this guy attacked Zeb, this guy did, and now they're together?
I get that.
Come on.
But that's that shock value. What I can't get over is how are they going to let Alberto Del Rio back into a WWE ring after backstage he beat the crap out of a guy who's not a wrestler. He's a craft service vendor. He was a caterer, basically. That's like if an MMA fighter punched a McDonald's worker in the face. And UFC goes, we're dropping him. He's clearly a loose cannon. And then a few weeks later goes, you know what? Come on back. We know you beat up a guy from McDonald's, but we don't care. What? You got to be kidding me. That's ridiculous. I do not know how Alberto Del Rio got back or why they would even let him back. It was such a negative publicity push for them when he did what he did and got relieved from the WWE
Mm-hmm.
that I just don't know why they would go back to that well. Like, did they forget? Is Vince's memory slipping in old age? It was a horrible experience. It was bad promo. And with this PG-13, the last thing they need is a wild card to possibly put out, something like what happened with, the man who's been redacted, Hulk Hogan, or, anything like that. It's just, I think it's a bad idea. It's a bad business practice, but we'll see how it plays out.
Okay, now you just said it. What's your feelings on how they're handling and actually kind of what Hogan did? I mean, do you agree with is that maybe a little far? I mean,
no. I think, okay, here's the thing. Hogan was in the wrong. And here's the thing. I mean, granted, everyone can say, well, Hogan didn't know he had a camera on him.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't. That's not the point of it. Even if you're not caught doing something wrong, you're still fucking wrong. It's just the way it is. And now, do I think that they should just try to disavow him? No. I don't think they should be like, he never existed. We've never heard of this Hulk Hogan character. He's been around for 30 freaking years. Everybody knows Hulk Hogan's a wrestler. And honestly, the only people who even really knew what had happened with Hulk Hogan were predominantly wrestling fans anyways, because they were the only ones who cared. I wouldn't have necessarily disavowed Hulk Hogan's existence as a whole. I would have absolutely released something that says, we at the WWE do not approve of this message. I would pull him from future engagements. I would probably even strip his Hall of Fame. But I wouldn't completely disavow as if he never existed, because that's just a terrible problem-solving method.
It did come out that, and you might have already know this already, but the WWE, for the WWE Network, it did come out that they're not going to take everything off that has Hogan in it. Why? I don't know, but because you're looking at multiple WrestleManias, you're looking at multiple Survivor Series, you're looking at multiple. Multiple. Just so much content. It's like half of their network has got Hogan in it. So they're not. I guess they're not going to do this. They've worked something out to where they're. Man, I'm bummed because the one person I grew up watching was Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake, the Ultimate Warrior, and Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. Those were the five. And then all five of them, which way they went. Of course, unfortunately, Andre the Giant quit, passed away several years later.
Yeah.
It was, he had giant syndrome. It's about to happen. And then some of the great matches. Literally great matches. And I'm saying again with, Andre the Giant, that match between him and Hogan was just epic. It's one of the best of all time.
The body slam heard around the world. It's right up there when you talk to any wrestling fan who's been a fan of older wrestling or a fan for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The body slam heard around the world is right up there with the Montreal Screwjob. It's a major event that happened in wrestling. If you try and go, well, now Hulk Hogan never existed, you're trying to basically say that neither did the body slam heard around the world. You just can't do it.
Especially when they pushed it so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that. I really just think they needed to, in my opinion, they needed to come out and say, hey guys, we at the WWE, we don't condone this. We're, this, as of this moment, like you said, Hulk Hogan will be stripped of his, I mean, even if his, the fuck, um, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like I would definitely say, I had to put out the press release, Hulk Hogan's views, not our views. We disagree with what was said. We are removing him from the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's it, Hall of Fame.
We will be we will not be booking him for any future events because of, our stance on it. Don't disavow him, just say we were unaware it was like this, and here going forward, this will not be something that we associate ourselves to. We won't be bringing him in for Mania appearances to mess up the Superdome, not the Silver Dome, and things like that. But
like how you said that slow. Superdome.
I mean, I couldn't help it. That's just the way I look at it,
Yeah.
I think that was probably would have been the better solution for handling it. But that's just me. I mean, that's how I would have taken care of it. And don't book him. Don't completely disavow him. Like, acknowledge, he was a wrestler. He did do a lot to build the industry, but we didn't build the industry on his ideals as expressed in this.
Right. Okay, now that I've finally found this, WrestleMania or Silver. Wow, I'm already ready for WrestleMania already. It just happened.
I was gonna say, did you almost say Silverdome? Sounded like you almost said Superdome.
Silverdome. 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 Yeah, that's what it is.
The Saluperdome.
Dude, that's perfect. With John Cena and Del Rio, I think they're gonna let him keep it. Honestly, why they let him back in the first place is beyond me. I don't understand it, nor will I probably ever, because if you're gonna beat the hell out of some guy, and then like you said, hey, come on back, buddy. We got room for you here. Yeah, it kind of scares you a little bit.
Yeah, I just know I wouldn't want to be a caterer for the WWE right now.
No, I would not either. I cannot find basically just a list of a list of the matches.
I mean, I can pretty much make the prediction. Like I said, I expect that we're going to see...
You asked me what match. You asked me about the matches because I can't find a list of the matches anywhere. So you ask me what match, and I'll tell you my prediction on who's going to win.
All right, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Del Rio Cena, and you said...
Del Rio.
I agree with that. I think they used Cena to give validation to the title, and now they're going to let Del Rio kind of run with it. What about Kevin Owens? I think
and Ryback.
We've seen Kevin Owens Ryback twice. We might see a third round. If we do, who do you give it to?
I'm really gonna say it. I don't know why, but because both of them really need a push. I want to say give it back to Ryback because of Owens is kind of one of those guys where he's been around forever. He thinks he's entitled to everything. I mean, hey buddy, you made it to the big leagues, but now you need to take your bumps up here too. So, I mean, Ryback's been around for a while, not as long as he's been in the business, but just that initial. I mean, because each of them had a really good initial push. Ryback had to change some stuff up. Now he comes back as feed me more and rolling his brand more, a solo opposed to being a part of the NXT takeover. And it's just, I'm gonna say Owens is gonna win it, but I really think Ryback needs to get it back or even have Ryback beat the living shit out of him, and then Owens catches him with a pop-up power bomb or something at the after a 20-minute match, and it's just they have a really good match, and then you could see Ryback going for maybe starting to hunt for the U.S. title, and then because Ryback's going to be around for a while, I think, unless they piss him off again.
And I could definitely see that. I mean, for me, I think.
What's the next match?
Well, real quick, I want to cover something on that one. I think Kevin Owens deserves it. I think he should retain it. And unfortunately, I think they will give it back to Ryback. I feel the exact opposite. Ryback has a history of being stiff in the ring and sandbagging moves. And Kevin Owens has been in the business 15 years. Even when he was just going against Cena and whatnot, he had easily match of the night a few times during those pay-per-views. I think he's earned his spot, and I'd like to see them keep the belt on Owens for a little bit. I respect what Owens does in the ring and how serious he takes his craft. So I think Owens would be good there. Let's see. Next match. Oh, dude, title match. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins.
I'm going to say this just because this is how I think that this is how I think and what I think is best for business in my eyes. I honestly think since the push has been going to Roman Reigns for a while, like he's had that chance at WrestleMania where he was going to win and Bray fucked him up. He had that chance at the briefcase, the Money in the Bank. He was going to win and Bray let him. He's had all his chances. Now it's time for him to actually get the belt. Yes, Seth Rollins is going to have a rematch and probably maybe take it back. Depends on what's going to happen in the story. But I really think that I'm looking for Roman Reigns to take it.
I would like to see that. I'd like to see them put the strap on Roman and run with the belt for a little bit. I feel like he's gotten a lot of hype. He's a really good face, and they could do quite a bit with it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see. It'll be kind of cool.
Sidebar.
I've got to agree, though. I think it's about time they take the belt off Seth. But then again, new WWE has a habit of running some stuff well beyond its wear, like the Authority. We've had the Authority for a good long while. I've been waiting to see them do some kind of other big overpower or the return of Vince McMahon again, because last year this time we saw Vince come back and tell the Authority if they lost the Survivor Series match, they were out.
Do you remember there was a little interview done on the WWE Network with JBL, and he interviewed a guy that actually went against Vince McMahon in running the owning the WCW. When we had Monday Night Wars and whatnot. Now I think the next power struggle is going to come back when Vince hires Eric Bischoff. Okay, this is my bold prediction. They do that thing on Monday Night Raw. This is my bold prediction that Vince is going to hire Eric Bischoff to run WWE that way. So because why if you got a guy that beat your ass for 37 weeks straight and just beat the living hell out of you, wouldn't you want to hire that man to get you that much more ratings?
But they've done it. It's been done.
I think he's going to come back with the older Eric Bischoff, because like he said it in the interview with JBL and even talking to others. Like he actually said it like, I was young. I was stupid. I just did it just to see a rise out of people. Now I'm more mature. I'm more, I just think it could happen.
I mean, they had him as the general manager for Raw for a while back in the day.
No, I'm not talking about general manager of Raw. I'm talking about the Authority 2.0.
Like making him that.
Making him, director of operations or something. Come on, man.
I mean, now that there's an open spot with
Kane got, yep.
Kane no longer, no corporate Kane, and now they're focusing strictly on Demon Kane. It's good, it's interesting, and there's that potential again for Brothers of Destruction. Which brings us to the next match. Team Wyatt, Team Taker. I feel like it's got to happen. I feel it's perfectly set up. So
I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
Do you want to make a prediction before we know the teams, or do you want to hold that off possibly for...
Well, I'm going to make a prediction right now, and just being, another bold prediction, I guess you could call it. I'm going to agree with you on what teammates he's going to acquire. I kind of think that if they team together after the epic battle at Hell in a Cell, I think it would be just something, but you got to remember, Brock doesn't play well with others. So, I mean, it could backfire, but then again, bringing back Kane as well, because it's, like you said, it's just Kane. It's just, and then I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
Or, Undertaker will probably have somebody as his third man because he lost Roman Reigns. But as his third man, he's going to have probably, John Cena will probably step up in there or something.
Yeah,
because that's what John Cena does.
Well, if he's not rematching Alberto Del Rio for the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title.
Yeah. Well, it said something about for the U.S. title. Let me go back to that.
I imagine it's have to be Cena Alberto Del Rio rematch.
I didn't see that one. And the Divas. Yeah, I don't. Huh.
We'll see. So I want to talk to you real quick because I think we should probably wrap it here. How would you feel about doing one right before the next pay-per-view?
Just set it up and we'll plug it.
All right, I think we'll because then we'll have a solid roster, make our predictions, and see just where we fare against everything coming up.
Definitely, I'm down.
All right.
Got any closing remarks?
Well, it was a blast. I had a lot of fun. I was glad I got to debut this on the Geeky Antics Halloween Marathon. I thought that was pretty amazing. And let's see, coming up next, we have still Obi-Wan X2, but he's about to throw down on some bitchy games. And I think that's pretty much it. Hashtag save the beard.
Amen, brother.
I'm just saying, I'm that beard. I am the advocate.
Preach it.
For the beard.
Hallelujah. All right, guys.
The one in Obi-Wan.
Yep. But, guys, again, thank you for hanging out with us on the first ever episode 0, pilot episode of NSFW, Not Safe for Wrestling. But, guys, I had lots of fun tonight. We'll be back. I don't know yet.
Pre-Survivor Series.
Pre-Survivor Series for a show there for the actual predictions of what's going to happen, because usually the card's locked in a week in advance or so. They don't put anybody in too much harm to... I mean, but hell, Randy Orton hurt his shoulder pulling out trash, so you never know.
You never know.
But appreciate it, guys. Again, if you guys want to check out any other podcast on Geeky Antics, you guys can go to geekyantics.net/schedule. Pretty much, I mean, we're running up the days, guys, so if you guys want to be a part of that, we're still currently looking for streamers, podcasters, writers, and just collaborators, guys. We want to dig your brains, you know. You see what I did there?
I see what you
We want to eat your brains of information. So, guys, again, thank you very much for watching. This has been the NSFW Fatal Blades. Myself, Obi-Wan X2. We'll see you guys next time. Later.
Take it easy.
All right, guys, we are going to get right into it here in a minute. I don't even know what I'm going to frickin' play right now. Actually, I do. Fatal? Fatal Apes?
Yes.
Are you still down for that, for hops?
Sure. I haven't played in a while. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Here's some little spooky Halloween music, guys. We'll be back in a few minutes, I promise. We'll see you then.
Okay. I think it's the team speak part.